Can we talk about how the girl liked my message?
Oh yeah, so you're upset because she liked your message but didn't love your message.
I'm not like yes. We could use the word upset, but I was more disturbed. I was like
disturbed
whoa.
Makes it sound worse.
But it disturbed my peace.
It's not that deep, bro, at all. And
this guy, bro.
What'd you say?
It's definitely
I didn't hear
not.
what you said.
I just did an event. I was like, we're pulling up to this.
Oh, so that was her way of saying like, cool, you're pulling up. I won't be there.
I don't think she's invited anymore.
Yeah, uninvite her, bro. The thumbs up is mad sarcastic.
Bro, niggas are that's so sensitive.
It's not sarcastic, but it's more just like unenthusiastic. And that's really what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I really enjoy enthusiasm. And I really enjoy people that like are excited to like hang out. You know what I'm saying?
She is. She wants to hang out.
No. She would have loved it if she was excited.
That's
to hang
what I'm
out.
saying. Miles, you've been out the game too long, bro.
What's the difference between him and me?
He's been out the game less than you.
I'm not even. This doesn't even need to be like pertaining to like a romantic
if
conversation.
If you send an invite to somebody and they like the message, you're really gonna feel away. If you say, "Yo, do you want to go to this?" I say, "Yes, I want to go to this." You send it to me. I like the thing, the flyer that you send. After I've already said I want to go to this event, you're gonna feel a type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's the wildest thing ever. Why?
Because it's showing it's not demonstrating enthusiasm, bro.
They are enthusiastic.
To me, it's a lack of enthusiasm.
Why do you think you're entitled to this?
Bro, oh, here we go talking about entitlement, bro. I'm not entitled to anything.
They weren't entitled to the invitation.
But you extended it. They said they want to go, and then you sent them something like, so what? So if they heart the message, you feel good about it.
How is me expressing how I feel entitlement? I'm just like, bro, I kind of wish that there was more enthusiasm here, but I guess it's all good. We can just like our way to this event. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's all about expectations. You know what I mean? If you ever want to love, why are you just liking? You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
we're also grown ass adult men, bro. Talking about liking it, whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
He didn't like that conversation.
I definitely didn't love it.
Like that conversation.
Definitely didn't love it.
I didn't like that conversation at all. What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Stereo Vision Podcast.
What's good? Episode 108.
Back in the new setup, man.
Yeah.
If you tuned into us on live stream every single Thursday night, Twitch link down below in the description. You got a sneak peek of this. Mm-hmm. But we're officially moved in. This is going to be where we're doing the podcast for the foreseeable future, man. Shout out Spencer. We have the space, decorated it all nice. This is fire.
Appreciate it. Yo, for our video viewers, if you guys have recommendations of some stuff that you want to see on the wall, the studio's not done yet. You know, we're still gonna add a little spice. You know, if there's anything that you'd love to see, drop it a comment. If you're an audio listener, just keep it rocking. You don't give a fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
But shout out our Spotify people. I see the numbers ticking up.
Facts. Shout out everyone on all audio platforms, man. Keep tapping in with us. Give us 5 stars. Give us a 5-star rating right now. Take a second. We'll give you a minute. You know what I mean? Make sure to support your boys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. All this shit on YouTube. How have you guys been, man?
Man, I've been good.
Yeah?
I've been real good. Yeah.
Good, bro. Good.
Honestly, I'm for the viewers that don't know, I'm between steady gigs right now. So your boy's stocking at a grocery store, and it gives me 8 hours a day to consume audio media. And that honestly makes me really happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm listening to, like, I did a whole pop day where I listened to all the fucking pop albums that have come out of note in the last like 4 years.
Chaperone, what are your thoughts?
It's cool. I'm not like super into it. It wasn't my favorite that came out this year, but it's good music.
Okay.
It's better than like the Gracie Abrams project.
I have to play you something that you're not going to like.
What?
We'll talk after.
Okay. But you know, just like, I think I'm just such a fan of like culture and audio and music that like, as soon as I like started wearing headphones to work, I'm like, oh, I could actually do this. I'm not going to get comfy because, you know, it's not the dream, but like listening to pod all day. You know, today, like I'm into politics, so I was listening to like news live streams all day as they were covering like Joe Biden like dropping out of the presidential election.
Big Mall taking over.
You know,
I can't do anything without my headphones and listen to. I listen to like podcasts throughout the day.
Yeah,
like you. It's hard for me to listen to music all the time just because I'm doing so much of it like for work and stuff like that. So I do have to kind of just like when I'm sitting there doing some like more mundane tasks, I'll have a podcast going. What's been your favorite one that you've been tapped into recently?
I mean, I've always loved the Joe Budden podcast, but I haven't ever really had the time to listen to the full 4 hours of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. On the back ends of those podcasts, you get to like learn a little bit about the dynamics of the crew, and I think that's really cool. Like Guilty Pleasure podcast is for show Theo Vaughn.
How is it a guilty pleasure podcast? Let's just say that's your favorite podcast.
I
Stand
love
on that.
Theo Vaughn.
Stand on that.
I love Theo Vaughn. That's one of the funniest people on the planet. He says the craziest things that I don't know how a human brain could arrive at, but they are hilarious to me. I tried Kill Tony. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but the presidential episode was funny with Shane Gillis there on the panel, like impersonating Trump the whole episode.
Are you sports podcasts at all?
I like I like LeBron and JJ. I was listening
That's
to that.
short-lived.
Yeah. I got to get into like Paul's podcast.
No, you don't.
Podcast P?
No, you don't.
You don't like it?
Watch Jeff T.
Okay, I've heard good things about Jeff T.
That shit is hilarious, bro.
Don't all the Villanova Knicks have a podcast too?
It's Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. That shit's smooth. Shit, I mean, Bill Simmons is the GOAT. Bill Simmons, Ryan Rasulo is it. The Bill Simmons podcast. Please watch that. And we could. That's my favorite shit ever. But now we can both collectively call out Osei. Because how the fuck are you a podcaster not watching any podcasts?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really consume that media like that. Like, I mean, I guess I watch like a little bit of the Joe Budden podcast and like Yachty's podcast, and I watch.
Safe Place is great.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't really consume like audio media that much besides music. Maybe I'll like watch podcasts on YouTube and things like that. But I don't know. I think I need to be a little bit more invested and dive in. I agree with you.
It's fun. It's literally my favorite form of, because it's not fact based. You know what I mean? Like, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. You're not really going there to learn anything. You're going there to get different personalities' opinions on things and current events and pop culture topics and things like that. But I don't know. It's just interesting to see how different people from different demographics talk about things that I talk about with the homies, you know?
What do you think you contribute to the podosphere?
I think that I bring a lot of objectivity.
Okay.
Like, I don't think I have any alliances or friendships really like within the industry that would prevent me from saying my true opinion on things. I think that a unique perspective.
I think you bring a lot of cool hats.
You do bring good headwear.
That's a pretty solid contribution.
I try different looks, you know what I mean?
Right. I won't take away the other stuff from you, but that was my number one.
Just my hats.
That was my number one.
Yo, now that we got, you can't see the kicks because this is a shoes off household. But now that we got the full body shot, you know what I mean?
Oh man.
Pause. But like it's kind of like bringing fashion into it. I want people to say every episode who put that shit on the best. Honestly,
it won't be me. I think I have the shit, but like when I'm podding, I gotta be max comfy.
But I feel like your style is comfort.
But like I might also pull up in the polo pajama pants.
That's fine. As long as
that's gonna happen.
You think they're fly, right?
I think they're fly.
There you go.
You know, we'll see.
It's calm fits. Who can throw the best calm fits? You know.
That'll be interesting. Okay. Everyone's good. Everyone's mental health is good. Happy to see everyone. All the shit.
Oh, say didn't answer. How are you, bro?
How you living? What's been up with you?
Man, I'm all right.
What's wrong?
There's a lot going on, bro.
There's a lot going on. That's a very fair statement.
And I feel like in my personal life, starting to draw the lines in the sand as one does when they get a little older. You know what I'm saying? You start to see people for who they are and like, who's for you and who's against you. And then
you got ops?
I mean, not ops, but there's some people that will like your message and there's some people that will love it. You know what I'm saying? And I just, you want to be around the love. Okay. You want to be in spaces where people appreciate you for exactly what you are. You don't want to have to mold yourself or change for anybody.
True.
And that's a lesson that, even though I'm sure I've heard multiple times in my life growing up, like something I'm really adopting right now. And while I'm going through these changes and kind of seeing who's there, we got all this chaos in the background. Like, it's like every single day there's just a new news article about some nutty happening in the United States, bro. I don't really know what's going on.
I don't think anyone does at all. It seems, because I definitely am actively like not involving myself in politics, and then when I ask people who I feel like are more involved what's going on, a lot of the time they don't even know really. So it just feels like everyone's kind of up in the air, especially in our age group. I think we're going through a very weird time when it's like you have to realize, what am I going to actually prioritize? You know what I mean? As I continue to get older and things like that. And I feel like I have not had the time to really sit down and like really lock into that stuff. So I just feel very, I don't know. I need a month or two before I'm really settled again.
I mean, the politics stuff gives an interesting perspective. Not even just like politics, but just like world and country affairs. Because I think anyone will tell you that we're nearing the end of the American dynasty. You know what I mean? There are plenty of signs, and every dynasty in history has fallen. We might have seen our peak, and we might be declining. Who knows? We see the shit with aliens. We see. I'm not even conspiracy corner. Not even conspiracy corner. Right now, everything seems to be happening. Oh, we happen to have a global IT shutdown the same time that the former president, there's an assassination attempt.
That shit was fake, bro.
All this shit, we'll get to it. All this shit is going on. Should really like cue you in that anything could happen tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We could get drafted into World War III. America could disassociate. There could be a civil war.
Would you go?
No. But I just think it's important that we remember that you shouldn't trade today's happiness or today's peace for anything.
I won't be drafted.
The future is not promised. You're not. You're an old head. This man's a little too old to be drafted.
Are you serious?
Old heads stand up.
His bones aren't strong enough anymore.
Would you actually not get drafted? Like, is there like an age limit?
No, yeah. I think 27 is the cutoff.
That's what it was saying.
Or 26. Either way, I'm past it. So we're good. We're good over here.
I'd go to jail.
Good luck, y'all.
I'd go to jail for sure.
You'd go to jail?
Huh?
Before I did any of that shit?
Oh, I'm just dipping out the country. Flee.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be hard to do.
On camera is nuts that y'all
What?
said that.
What, that we're going to dodge the draft?
Yeah.
Pretty transparent, man.
I'm going to dodge the draft. Yeah, I'm definitely dodging that draft.
I mean,
I'm not going to go fight.
I won't be
Do I
on the
look?
field.
I look at my pants, bro. Do I look like somebody that's going to go kill someone?
Yeah, I'm not about to do none of that.
I'm not going to lie. Like, even though, back in my days, I'd probably joke about dodging the draft. I'd probably just go. That's where everyone else is going. Why would I want to be separate?
Because I don't want to get shot at.
And you know who's not going to the draft? My girlfriend. So we'll go figure something else out.
Fair,
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair
I'm
enough.
straight up. You're saying you would just go?
That's where all my homies are at.
That's like the same logic as like all your friends jump off a bridge. Are you going to jump?
Bro, listen to yourself. It is a draft. People are being forced to go to war. Most people, including yourself, are not going to take the jail route.
Why?
You're saying, oh, I would go to jail. Miles, you've never been to jail a day in your life, bro.
Nigga, I've also never been to war either.
But being in the military is not the same as going to war, bro. You don't necessarily have to be on the front lines.
If we're in a time of war, I don't want to be in a position where I could potentially end up in the field.
Yeah, and when you go to jail, you are putting yourself in a position where you're potentially going to get shanked or worse.
I don't think I'm going to get shanked in jail.
Yes, you would.
Why?
They would pick on you.
Why?
You're soft.
I think you're getting shanked too.
I really don't think so. I think I have more respect for
Without
people
me in
that
there,
are out
bro.
there.
Without me in there, to watch out
Without
for
Spencer,
you,
bro, come on.
you're
now.
definitely getting
You're
shanked.
you're done for.
Without me to like, you really like fight for your case
and,
with the white area.
and no beanies, bro.
If
No
I
beanies,
They would tell you
bro,
your beanies.
No beanies. Oh, thank you.
I think if I'm just being 100% honest,
Uh-huh.
if we had to rank who would last the longest in jail
Mm-hmm.
between us three, I think that I would 100% be me.
I think you have pure size, but I think I would.
I would 100%.
I think I would form the right alliances.
I don't
that
think
would protect
so.
me. I definitely think so.
You don't think I'd be good?
No. You might be the first to go.
What would
Spencer.
happen to me?
So, do you think Trump got shot for real?
Yeah, let's talk about it. 'Cause it's been a couple crazy weeks. I do think it was a real bullet. I do think he really got shot. I do think it was also an inside job.
Like, do you think he knew it was coming?
No.
Oh.
I think it was a hit set out by BlackRock. You heard me talk about BlackRock? You see that this kid was in a BlackRock commercial? The shooter? Like, how crazy is that? And also, Trump has recently been talking a lot about cryptocurrency and decentralized banking and getting the support of Elon Musk, who is a crypto supporter. And so, of course, BlackRock, a company that profits constantly off of the U.S. banking system, does not want what looked to be a sure president nominee and elect to be like pro cryptocurrency. So I think, yeah, the most powerful corporation in America put a hit on him. And they probably also aligned with the Dems and got the Secret Service to look the other way, because there's no reason that gunman should have been able to let 3 shots off. That's my take. What do you think happened?
I don't know. I mean, I think that anything that we say is going to sound kind of conspiracy-ish. So, not knowing nothing about nothing, it just seems a little bit too perfect to me. Where like I do think that Trump came out of this looking better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, like he got shot, but he survived. Da da da.
Put the fist up.
This old. You know what I mean?
Power,
like
fight.
Was,
that was crazy.
The fact
really
that like
crazy.
he like all like everyone dived on the ground, so like we couldn't really see what was going on. Like the split second after things. I don't know. It just the ear. Like nothing super serious. I don't know.
Well, I don't think that it's a stretch to say that there was something funky going on.
Something
because
was up with
if you
that,
look at
to
the
me.
facts, 30 minutes prior to the shooting, the suspect, the shooter, was identified as suspicious. We have snipers from the Secret Service saying
who identified him as suspicious?
the Secret Service.
They were like, this guy is.
Yeah, there was somebody with him in their sights, in their sniper scope for 3 whole minutes that said he was waiting on the order to pull the trigger and never got the order. To not take lethal action against somebody, okay, I understand, but to let Trump
so they saw him
stay on
posted
stage.
up? They saw him posted up with the gun.
Yes, plenty of people at the rally saw him and told people, "Yo, there's a dude climbing on the roof right now." He was very close, and also the Secret Service, that was the one roof they weren't on because it was as a slant, and they said it was dangerous, so they were watching from inside that specific little house.
Yeah, nah, this shit is weird, bro. Shit is weird
for sure.
I don't know. Yeah, but this is American politics.
But also the fact is that somebody died.
Yeah, I mean,
And so I
RIP
think,
to him.
that I think made people kind of think twice about, the shot not being real, or there not actually being gunfire. You know what I mean? Which is kind of why I don't think it was staged by Trump's camp necessarily.
You know what I mean? RIP to that person, for their family, all that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to like disrespect them in any way. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird situation.
Yeah, it is strange. I mean, I think regardless of what you believe, we just live in an era of information and misinformation that really drives like people's thoughts and opinions about like current events, especially politics. Like, some people believe it was real. Some people don't believe it. Some people talk about it being an inside job. Some people are like, yo, somebody got shot. Like, it's all super interesting. I feel like right now the narrative is bigger than the truth. And that goes for everybody. Like, you really only believe what you want to believe. Yeah. You don't necessarily, you see facts and you take them to yourself and you kind of form your own opinion. I mean, yes, that's what people do, but I feel like the division in narrative is bigger than ever, especially when it comes to the things that should be just commonplace. Like, this was a very strange event. We should all be on the same page about what happened, but people aren't.
I mean, even diving into the stuff that happened today. So obviously Joe Biden stepped down out of the presidential election, which I think anyone with 2 eyes kind of saw coming.
Yeah.
But then the fact that it seems like it's been all but decided or announced officially that Kamala is going to be the not Democratic elect.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like she wasn't elected by people. So like isn't like, it feels like there's a democracy issue there, right? To me.
Well, I mean, she's not the elect until the DNC in 3 weeks,
Yes.
where there will be democratic processes.
Okay.
I think people are assuming so because a lot of the other candidates that we thought might step up have already endorsed her.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom today endorsed her, and I think that was everybody, including myself's pick for who would be slotted in. There's still Gretchen. I forget her name. She's the governor of Michigan, swing state, high-ranking Dem that has had presidential aspirations for a while. So she didn't fully endorse Kamala. And also Obama's statement today was interesting because he said he has confidence that the right candidate will emerge and the democratic process will be followed. But he distinctly did not endorse Kamala. So I'm like, yo, Michelle 2024?
This shit feels like a fucking TV show, bro. Like, it feels like a House of Cards episode, bro.
Bro, it's a good one too. I'm invested. I'm fully invested.
And I'm like, I, as wrong as it may be, because I know it's wrong. I'm like, I'm still just as tapped out because it just seems like there's too much going on to even really discern. Like, I think as things get closer and heat up, of course, you should educate yourself, like be made aware, especially if you're of voting age. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's honestly just overwhelming right now. It's too much for me to really be processing, bro. And I don't know, like just speaking about overall politics and all this shit, bro. It's like, for me personally, I'd love to get you guys' takes on it. I know it affects our world. It's gonna affect our lives and all that shit. But like me being a young adult growing up and figuring out all this other shit in my life, I really do find it hard to like give a fuck fully about all this as much as I should. So like, how do you guys? What makes you guys care about this more?
I have never lived in a time where I've been proud to be American. And I've talked to specifically our Sam and Saul and how much they love Ethiopia and their sense of nationalism. And I've always envied that. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to be proud of where I'm from. And I think I was born during the last year of the Clinton administration, but most of my life I was in the Bush administration where we were doing terrible things in the Middle East. You know what I mean? And then we hit the recession, all this. I've never been proud. I would like to be proud. And I think I could be proud if there was somebody that was charismatic, empathetic, and could speak well and could restore kind of our reputation in the global economy. And also, I don't know. You know what I mean?
We're still built on such a flawed foundation. It's like, what does it mean to be proud to be American? You know what I mean? Like, there's been so much bad shit throughout history. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's, you can either say, okay, the system's fucked, so I'll never be proud. And it's just like that. I think that's just a little negative. Like, I'm like, okay, yes, it started where it started, but today we have so many different points of view and mass communication and information. And I think we could turn this into something good that we're proud of, But
we're still affected by all those systems that were put in place years ago that were so bad. You know what I mean? Like, I once again, don't know shit about shit, but it just seems like I don't know what to be proud of. But what you're saying makes sense.
I feel you, but it's just like there are things that would help.
Yes.
You don't have to love everything to acknowledge an improvement.
Yes.
Kamala, for as many flaws as she might have, whatever you want to say, she is somebody that I would be more proud than either of the two old men that were running, representing us amongst other nations. She's somebody that, whereas Donald Trump and Joe Biden were both very, very pro-Israel, somebody that has shown a lot more empathy to the situation that's going on in Palestine. And it's just a couple things that I'm like, okay, I could be more proud of where I live and where all my people live, And so today was exciting for me because I'm like, maybe we'll get somebody that's inspiring.
Yeah.
I'll say, being from like DC, how do you feel about this whole thing?
I mean, I don't know. I'm mostly just like concerned for my parents that are still there.
Yeah. Like,
feel like they are probably just at a point where they're trying to figure things out because, like, and again, Puerto Rico is technically part of the States, but like, I feel like they both came here with a very different vision in mind for themselves and their kids. And while they achieved a lot, like, I think politically here, it's just kind of not really stable enough for them to continue wanting to even be out here. So I'm more concerned for them. I'm only concerned about what I can control and what's close to me, to be honest. I feel like during this time, building community is super important. Having people that are solid and close to you, like I said, dividing those lines and just moving with your group, bro. That's really what this is becoming. We're becoming like super nationalist, and eventually that's going to tear the country down.
I mean, do you think it's important to be educated about politics?
Yeah, it's definitely important to be educated about politics. I don't think for this election cycle much can be done when it comes to the presidential candidate, but I think at a local and state level, like, it's important to be educated about who you're putting in positions of power. And that all gets decided at the polls in November. So
who knows? Maybe I'll vote for the first time. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other politics stuff that we have to talk about?
I mean, what'd y'all think of the fucking power out, the blackout?
I didn't notice it.
I didn't notice it either, but I did hear about it and saw it all over Twitter.
Seems kind of like a distraction from something.
Well, it was just like certain companies.
It was like a Microsoft thing, I think. And
when did it happen?
It was like a couple days ago. There was like the most flights grounded in U.S. history because nobody could fly. Everything was getting shut down. Computers were just turning off.
You know what? I saw a lot about the flights.
Yeah.
I saw a lot about the flights, a lot of Instagram stories about flights and just being stuck at the airport for mad long.
It's like they didn't want anything in the airspace.
Who's they?
You know who they are.
I don't.
BlackRock.
They didn't want, you
BlackRock.
say they didn't want anyone flying?
They didn't want anyone in the airspace. Who knows what was going on above our head? Something was in the sky. Just my thoughts.
We'll see.
I need to watch the videos you're watching because I don't know anything. I don't know what you're talking about,
I
bro.
don't want to be scared though. I can't do it. It's too stressful, bro. That's what I'm saying. There's so much other shit going on in my day-to-day life. I can't be stressed about BlackRock because I can't control BlackRock.
But you also showed me The Stranger by Albert Camus. So I think, if anything, this would make sense to you that when you realize how insignificant we all are and how insignificant all our lives are, there's a sort of peace in it. You know what I mean? Whereas when you focus on the things that you can control, you feel almost like you should be responsible for your happiness and there's so much meaning to your life. But kind of the existential point of view, my life has no meaning and therefore I can do with it what I like.
You can do with it what you like. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And that's why I would never judge someone for being like super politically invested, because it's like, you know, that's whatever brings you peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at this point, you know, none of this shit really matters, honestly. But yeah, music dropped.
We gotta talk about music.
Do we want to talk about music? There's some good stuff that dropped. I mean, your boy.
I'm just kidding. Of course I want to talk about music.
That's your fave. I think the biggest thing in music right now, the Childish Gambino album soundtrack, even though it's an album. Bando Stone in the New World dropped. We gave it a listen on stream, and it's fine.
Yeah, there's some really good songs on there.
I agree 100%. I mean, I've been playing the fuck out of Steps Beach.
Yeah, Steps
all
Beach.
the time. That's my shit.
Survive is so incredible to me.
Yeah, Dadvocate I like too still.
I didn't really understand this album conceptually, and I feel like that's maybe what you're pointing to, right? Because it's a soundtrack and we haven't seen the accompanying movie, it's confusing. But I don't know. I think to me it wasn't cohesive. There's a lot of good songs on there, but felt more like a Childish Gambino playlist, if you will. I feel like when he in Atlanta, when you know, they were making music for Paperboy and they were playing like Paperboy songs, they were really Donald Glover just like imitating a style. I felt like there were a lot of moments in the project where he was doing that, whether it was like a Pink Panthers type beat, a Drake type beat, a Teaser Touchdown type beat, and I wonder why he leaned so heavy into that category, because he's super talented and we all know that he's capable of making very serious, very well thought out music. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying this didn't feel well thought out, but I did feel like the imitations of other styles were a distraction from the artistry of the project, and it didn't really feel like there was any cohesion or direction to it. Again, I think the movie might help, but that was my take off first listen.
Yeah, I agree. I really do think it was a soundtrack. We touched on it in the reaction, but I think my perspective is, after listening to this, it seems like Donald Glover is really focused on this movie. Mm-hmm. And it seems like he might be really ready to retire Childish Gambino, as he said. And I don't know if he necessarily put his all into making this an incredible album. I think this is an incredible soundtrack. Because if you compare this to other soundtracks, it goes toe-to-toe with all of them. And especially once we see the movie, I feel like it might be scored beautifully. Mm-hmm. But if we're looking at this as an album, there's way too many, like, there's so many different styles, and a lot of them lean a lot more pop than I normally like Gambino to lean. Mm-hmm. I like edgy, artsy pop from Gambino if he's going to do it. But a lot of these were just, you said coming of age in the reaction. And I don't dislike a coming of age alt rock song, but when you have three of them, and they seem very cinematic and very big, it's probably going to play great in the movie. But as a fan of Childish Gambino albums, yeah, it wasn't my favorite, you know?
Yeah, what I did like about this project, though, and I feel like what helped with the cohesion, or at least making it semi-cohesive, was Amare.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, in the style of like a few other greats that we've seen, Kendrick, Drake to some extent, have kind of co-opted a new generation of artists and worked with them in a very collaborative manner to design the sound and the style of the project. Kendrick did it with Kodak. I feel like Drake kind of did it with Tizo a little bit, you know, and For All the Dogs. Like, I feel like Donald Glover kind of leaned more in the Kendrick direction, where Amare is like all over this project, clearly has a bunch of writing credits on his music, and is kind of a muse for the style of the project. I thought it was really dope because she's super talented and she's still relatively new and is being brought to the forefront in a way that was dope.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that as much, but I do love when an artist kind of has the same other artist featured 2 or 3 times on the album, kind of like showing that they were almost like a co-exec producer of this album. You know what I mean? If you wrote on a lot of it and featured on a lot of it, that's really cool. And I think, she did a great job.
Did she write? I didn't see the writing credits.
I have to double check. I think I got the impression she wrote a lot of it just because of the way he was performing it. Sounded stylistically like her album. And then also too, the first song doesn't have her name featured in the title track, but is obviously her. So I think that was just an assumption I made because of those two things. But we can definitely go back and check.
I think it makes sense. You know what I mean? Them two together. I think that she's someone who's not bound by genre, which seems like a really, really big thing in the second half of his career. Because I think that once he stopped trying to just be rapper guy, he really, really expanded. And of course, he's had moments throughout his career where he's kind of dibbled and dabbled. But up until Awaken My Love, he was probably going to be called a rapper.
Yeah.
Now it seems like that's completely the wrong thing to like describe him as. And I think with Alma, raps, sings, is she Afrobeat? Is she hip hop? Is she R&B? Like, it's really hard to kind of put her into a box as well. So I think that when you get two creatives in a room like that, they can just go crazy. Big shout out to the producers on here. This was a very expensive album, obviously, but yeah, this was a part of our childhood. Childish Gambino was a big, big part of, I think, us growing up and becoming fans of music. It sucks that this chapter's closing, but he's given us some of the best music, some of the most innovative music of the last 10 years. How long has it been?
Without a doubt, yeah. I mean, Camp was 2011, right?
Yeah, wow, almost 15 years.
And the Freaks and Geeks EP, whatever that was called,
that
had to be before that, yeah.
Do you have a favorite Gambino project?
Yeah, I mean, I was having this conversation with a friend the other night, and because I automatically just went to Awaken My Love, because that's the one that I think really was super instrumental in me falling in love with the artist that is Donald Glover. And it was also one of the first... It's like a transcendent album. It's like a Frank Ocean album. It's an album that you can't really compare to anything. It's an album that I think blends so many different styles that it's the one that was just like so incredible to me and that held me up. But Ada Vista is something that I've listened to more than Awaken My Love. I listen to constantly. I love those songs, and I love the 2 songs that he added this year. You know what I mean? I was shitting on the re-release, but that new intro and Human Sacrifice are 2 of my favorite songs of the year, on top of what I already think was a great project. So it's really close between those 2, but I'll probably actually give Ada Vista the edge. I really love that project.
I'm definitely because of the internet still.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because I think that for those two projects, for me, it's like really high highs.
Yeah.
But just a couple skippable tracks that kind of hinder it. But like, I think because the internet is probably my favorite cohesive project of his. Like, I can listen to that front to back. I feel like there's kind of something you can take away too. Like, I really like that one still always. But Ada Vista and Awaken My Love, like, that's a really good trio.
Yeah.
Those are all really, really good projects to me. Do you have a favorite?
I would say 315 Ada Vista. Although I feel like I still appreciate 315 over Ada Vista. And I don't know. I think I got the wrong kind of taste of Ada Vista just based off that Nudie song. I still feel like Nudie feels very misplaced on the project.
Yeah, totally.
I get what he was trying to do, but I don't think it worked.
Oh, it didn't work at all.
Just Littlefoot, Bigfoot threw you off?
Yeah, that song really threw me off, to be honest.
I'm able to ignore that because I think that was a skip for me without Young Nudie. You know what I mean? Like, that was one of the few skips already on the album, so I'm already skipping it. You know what I mean? But I feel you. I do feel you. Some of those changes were strange.
Yeah, Time with Ariana Grande and To Be Hunted. And then what's the song with 21 Savage called?
Psilocybe.
Psilocybe. Yeah. No, those are classic records.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, there's some crazy shit on there.
Facts. Blast dropped. New project.
Blast did drop.
How you feel about it, Spencer? I know you listened to it.
Oh, the first 5 were hot. Honestly,
Wow.
he started off really strong. And honestly, the middle to the end was good too. I didn't listen to the 5th disc. I only got 4 in.
Okay.
I need to go back and finish it, but yeah, I really loved that intro with 2 Chainz. There were some cool moments. There was a song on here that kind of sounded like Crew Love. I forget what it's called, but with the drum, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm talking about? That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like an improvement. I really love the 2 singles, the Offset single and the Anderson .Paak single.
Yeah. The Offset one grew on me.
Me too. I didn't love it off rip, but I'm impressed. A couple new Blast songs added to my rotation. Yeah, I enjoyed it. What do you think?
The intro's really good. I like that a lot. It's a good R&B album.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we've gotten a lot of really standout R&B projects this year, and I don't think this was groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination at all.
Yeah.
But it was good to hear from him. It was good to hear from him trying different types of production, which is definitely new for Blast. It feels like he's really, really trying to branch out from just the West Coast sound. I think my thing with him is that is it his vocal tone is always the same? Like, he's switching up flows and stuff like that, but that feels like he's always kind of in the same. You can't really tell when he gets excited or emotional. He's going to say most things the same way.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, I mean, he has a great tone of voice. You know, I think that's why he's a great hook maker and things like that. 20 songs, not bad. He did the disc thing. Okay, so now that a couple people have done the disc thing, how you feel about it?
I still think it's a good thing. I still think it makes tracks a little more memorable, and it kind of leads a very clear runway to D2C vinyl consumption. What do you think of it?
You know, if you want to do it, like do it, you know? Yeah, I think it's harder for me to say. I think I prefer saying track 13 on the album versus track 3, disc 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it still is track 13 though. You can still say that. It still says it on.
I feel like it broke up Don Toliver's album nicely for me.
Yeah.
You know?
It's cool.
That was the one where I was like, okay, I like this stylistically.
But yeah, I mean, we always want more Blast music. Is cool. He'll always give us a couple. JT, I haven't really gotten into that project.
Can we talk about the new Rema album?
I don't know if I love it, but I love Benin Boys. But I don't know if I love the project.
I don't think I like it.
It's definitely, he's definitely going into a very experimental era.
Yeah.
A very dark era. I feel like I spoke about this on our TikTok, but
you did.
I don't really understand Rema's angle with all the dark imagery and, like, honestly, like, devil eluding imagery too. Like, that's what it feels like to me. It's like very dark, very shadowy, the wings and all that different type of stuff. We know for a fact that his, like, core demographic is not going to rock with it off rip, at least. And I don't think it's necessary. I also think that the sound that he's going for, while it's cool and is, like, pushing the genre, I do feel like he missed a few times with that Ha 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 song.
I don't like that.
I really didn't enjoy, like, listening to that. Like, sonically it wasn't pleasing to me.
Yeah.
But Spencer, it sounds like you have a different opinion.
I liked it.
You liked it a lot.
I really liked it. It's very high energy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It kind of was getting me amped up, and I think I understood it on the first track, March Am, where he's, like, doing the noises, the funny, like, weird kind of scary noises that he did at the show that we were at as well. I'm like, oh, is he trying to be like Afrobeats Playboy Cardi?
Yeah, it feels like he's leaning in that direction.
I kind of think that's the direction, and I wasn't mad at it. I thought the music was nothing I'd ever heard before. It's like a new take on this genre, and I'm kind of into it.
I mean, it's experimental. Rema's one of the best talents, young talents in Afrobeat. I think that's unquestioned. You know, I think that the sky's the limit for him, wherever he continues to take his career, and I think he's still very young in his career. So he's still finding himself and things like that. it's just been interesting that this has kind of been the conversation around Rema, and now this is where it went. Because he came up very, very religious, very, very Christian. He was like a Christian rapper. And then it's been said that he kind of turned to more worldly things, and that's what brought him success, which is kind of interesting. And then you go and you look at the last project, Raven Roses. Like, there's a church on the cover with the upside, like it's upside down. You know what I mean? With the upside down cross. So I think this whole religious thing that Rema's been doing has been something that he's been grappling with, which I think you see a lot with people who were raised very, very strictly in the church. You know what I mean? As they grow into themselves, it's not to say they're denouncing their religion, but you ask more questions. You know what I mean? You find different ways to be a part of that conversation. You know what I mean? And it may not always be, I agree with this, you know? So I think we're watching a young person kind of grow into themselves more with this album. Is it my favorite? No. But I like that he's trying new things.
Well, it's also, just to build onto your point, I think like musically and sonically, it is a much different sound even than Raves and Roses. Because, I mean, you think about one of his biggest records, Calm Down.
Yeah.
Nothing on this project sounds like that.
At all.
And if you want another hit record, you usually don't deviate this far away from what you did before. And yes, I mean, artists have definitely pushed their limit and push their sound. You mentioned Playboi Carti. I feel like that's probably the most comparable thing we have to what Rema is doing right now. It's just a super dramatic change of sound and change of pace, change of visual, you know? And I'm interested to see how it does for him.
Me too.
I think co-opting the newer generation, not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right, but that dude Sholo Poppy, what's his name?
I think you said it right.
I said it right. I mean, I think putting him on a song like Benin Boys and like co-opting his sound, I feel like that is a great way to step into this new era, because you're not necessarily trying to invent something new or pretending you invented something new. You're like, nah, this is like who's also doing this. Let me just like also put them on the project, you know?
I can't lie though. I think that this opens the women in Afrobeat really, really represented this year. And I needed him to, you know what I mean, step up to that level. Ira and Tim's gave us great albums. I don't think we're going to get another drop from Burna Boy this year.
I don't think so.
WizKid gave us an EP at the back end of last year, I think. So, I mean, Rema, Ruger, Ashake dropped last year, so he might be quiet this year. I don't know, though. He might. Ashake could.
No, I mean, he just dropped that song with Central C, you know, and then he's been on his feature run with Ira and Thames. Yeah. I think, I mean, I don't know, but the year we're only halfway through the year. We could definitely get an Ashake project. I would assume. You know what it is? I don't think that they have a date yet. I'm assuming right now that they are waiting for something to happen with Wave or maybe with another single before they're like 100% yes, this year we go.
Yeah, I need it. I don't know, because it seems wide open. Rema was gonna be and he still might be. But if he would have had another slapper of an album this year, it might have been over for everybody. He would have been like the next one.
Yeah,
I think this album is gonna really help African music become bigger in America, because I think.
Do you think this? I don't think this translates.
I think it does a little bit, and I think it translates to somebody, not to us, and not to people that already like Afrobeat. But I think it's gonna help gain new fans.
Yeah,
because the parallel I'm thinking about is like the WNBA. You know what I mean? And there've been hoopers in the WNBA for years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason this year people really started paying attention, and it's blown up. And I think a large part of that were having certain women that people were invested in on and off the court. They were characters.
College stars. There were college stars that already had built up. You've built up this fandom for 4 years in Caitlin's case, 3 years in Angel's case.
And they were like, people love the story. It's more than just the on-court game. You know what I'm saying? It's like the chirp. It's the little rivalry. It's shit like that. And it's being able to identify people easily.
But they were both still all-stars this year. So the play was still to that level, even though it lived up to the story.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I think a lot of people, myself included, up until a couple years ago, liked the sound of Afrobeat a lot, but didn't really have a lot of easy entry points. Of course, you know Burna Boy and you know WizKid, but aside from that, 3 years ago, I couldn't have told you the difference between a Fireboy DML or a Ruger. You know what I mean? I wasn't tuned in enough to really understand these subtle nuances. So I do think having the genre sprout more subgenres and different like drastically different sounds and looks all under this beautiful umbrella that is African music will help American consumers. Not that that's the most important thing in the world, but just looking at it from an American lens, it will help American consumers latch themselves onto certain artists and become fans of the overall genre, I think.
If it works, I 100% agree with you. And I hope to see, I'm excited to see the response to it. Because, you know, they're obviously still working the project. It's still relatively new, so there's going to be things that will catch on late. Once things get in motion, we'll see what people are gravitating towards. But I do want to talk about the WNBA for like 2 seconds.
Let's talk about it. The All-Star game was lit.
You saw it? You seen it yesterday?
Yeah, I was watching it work.
Bro, 32 in the second half. Enrique, I don't know your last name.
She could not miss.
I'm so glad. Caitlin Hooper, you're good. I'm a Caitlin Clark hater. Just personally. I like that everyone who's a Caitlin Clark fan, if you watch that game yesterday, you have to be a fan of Enrique.
Yeah.
She does everything that Caitlin does. If not a better dribbler, a little more saucy with it, you know what I mean?
But you're the one making it about Caitlin right now.
She's tough. Because I want to make sure that, you know, people put their respect on your name. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Just felt
no,
like
she was going crazy, and Angel Reese also had an incredible game.
Angel got the double. Angel just like, did I tell you guys that? That Angel's like my player comp?
I could see it.
Like I play. Like if anyone asks, like Miles, like who do you play basketball like? It's not an NBA player. It's like I play exactly like Angel Reese.
Great defense, a lot of boards,
bro. Like I'm missing all the shots. Like it's not gonna look athletic. I'm getting the same amount of off the ground as her. She's 6'4", but a big for some reason. I guess for women it makes more sense, but for me it doesn't. That's really that's my player comp. But it was a very interesting game. I like it a lot. USA getting smacked, though.
Bro. That was fire.
That was fire
because it was just like you could feel the chip on the shoulder. You know what I mean? And the intensity that they were playing with to see the best women in the world compete at that level,
it's tough.
Was so fire.
I loved it. The men's national team also almost lost to fucking South Sudan yesterday.
What people don't understand about South Sudan though is they got some athletes, bro.
Bro, they also
they got some crazy athletes.
Like Winyan Gabriel spoke very eloquently about it. He's like, you know, like there's no reason to hang our heads after this. You know what I mean? We're putting on for our city. We're showing people that there is something to build around over there. They had like no indoor basketball facilities.
Wow.
Until very, very recently, and it's like, yo, like there's real talent out there. Basically talking about we have 7-footers that are out there herding cows and stuff like that because not everyone has the luxury of being able to play basketball for a living. You know, you grow up and you have to help your family and things like that. So it was dope to see. LeBron, still the GOAT.
Literally in the clutch, little lay.
That's the best basketball player of all time. It's crazy to see.
Yo, water between the legs ain't crazy, gang.
Why is it? Hydration is crazy.
It's a little crazy.
It look a little wild.
Yeah,
I'm leaving it there now.
There you go.
I don't give a shit.
Swinging that thing. You feel me?
Right.
Because the niggas would be like, see, he made it weird though. As long as I can be what did nobody care?
You feel me?
Didn't nobody
feel
mind
me?
it?
You think USA is gonna have any problem in the Olympics?
No.
Not even with Canada?
No.
Canada's pretty good. They got Kelly Olynyk, Andrew Nemhard, 2 Gonzaga legends. SGA.
You know.
Dylan Brooks. Super villain.
So you named like one guy who's like
Kelly,
who could really go. I don't know.
Jamal. They're good, bro. Don't do that about Jamal Murray. They're really good.
Yeah, they're all right, bro. It's LeBron, Steph, KD, Jason Tatum, Anthony. Like, there's just too many guys on USA.
They said that about the women's the national team as well.
Who was playing other if you put me in an all-star game right now, like all-stars in the NBA versus national team, I think there's a very big chance that the national team could lose.
Yeah.
I think that you take the next 15 guys in the NBA that didn't make this team, top 15, and go up against the rest of the world, and I think we'd probably still win.
But it's like the next 15 isn't... yeah.
The next 15 could go, bro.
No, but what I'm trying to say is like Canada isn't that much worse than the next 15. Because you have Shea, who's top 15, and Jamal, who's fringe top 15.
Yes.
Boom. And then you have a bench of NBA players. Everyone on that team is an NBA player.
Whereas you got Jaylen Brown, Kyrie, fucking
You're
Paolo.
right.
Like,
You're right.
No contest.
Because they got Bron, the best basketball player ever.
Yeah.
And maybe, in my opinion, the best athlete of the 2000s.
He's not.
Do you saw the list?
Yeah.
Did you see the list? So ESPN does this thing where they just rank athletes for a century. You know, they release the best athletes of the 1900s. And so they did so far best athletes of 2000s. And they're only focused on accolades, not off court, not influence on the game, just strictly what you did in your sport and only from the year of 2000 and on.
Yeah.
And so they did 100. I'm just going to read you guys the top 10 just for reference. Number 10, they have Kobe Bryant. Number 9, Usain Bolt. Number 8, Tiger Woods. Number 7, Simone Biles. Number 6, Roger Federer. Number 5, Tom Brady. Number 4, LeBron James. Number 3, Lionel Messi. Number 2, Serena Williams. And number 1, Michael Phelps.
Wow.
I agree with Michael Phelps 100%.
That's wrong. Michael Phelps is not the best athlete of the 2000s. He's not.
Why?
Because who did he swim against? Who did he beat?
Everybody.
Name one.
Literally everybody.
Name one.
Literally everybody.
Bro, here's my problem.
Okay.
Here's my problem. He won because he's the most decorated Olympian in American history. He won 8 gold medals in 2008 alone. That's incredibly impressive. You know how many medals LeBron James physically could win in 2008? 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he's the best swimmer of all time. But I don't think the fact that he won the most Olympic medals can equate to someone like LeBron James, who could have won just as many Olympic medals if he had opportunity to win 8. If there was a passing competition, a shooting, a dunk contest, all those different sports in the Olympics, Bron might have 30.
I think that swimming is harder than you're giving it credit for. I think that swimming.
You mean
is
like the difference between different strokes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I think that it's just an extremely difficult sport, as well as a sport that we all probably as a collective know the least about.
Yeah.
But I think that him doing that, just the sheer amount of times in different, different strokes? Like, different strokes is incredible. Strokes is crazy. But
that's what it is.
I don't know. I think Michael Phelps is definitely like up there.
Can y'all swim?
Okay. Yeah. I was on swim team.
Really?
This whole pause.
Did you get a gold medal?
Huh?
Did you get a gold medal?
No.
Why not?
Why didn't I get a gold medal for swimming? It wasn't that fast. I guess. It wasn't fast enough. Can you swim?
Yeah.
Fast?
Probably not as fast as you. You were on swim team.
I just can't believe you really think Michael Phelps is the best athlete of the 2000s.
That's so normal.
But it's wrong. If that's normal, they're wrong.
It's really not normal. It's really not like that wrong.
If you think swimming's hard, how about football? How about soccer? Messy. Make it messy. That is harder than swimming, bro.
Why? Why are you so? That's what I'm saying. Why do you have this vendetta? Why are you okay with everyone else being above swimming?
What do you mean?
Like
I didn't say
like
Michael
just
Phelps
said-
shouldn't be on the list.
No,
he should
but-
be top 10.
No, but why are you like? Why would you be more okay with Messi being number 1 or Brady being number 1 or LeBron being number 1 because you're more familiar with them?
No, because I think I would be way more okay because they every single year in and year out, we saw them compete against the best in the world and be incredible.
Yeah.
Michael did it once every 4 years and he did it incredibly.
He didn't have the same opportunity. All you could do is compete with what's in front of you.
Okay, that's fair. But I also think that it's much more impressive to be the best soccer player in the world than the best swimmer.
I think that Michael Phelps, here's what I'll say. How many times have we seen LeBron lose?
A bunch?
Countless. How many times have we seen Messi lose?
I don't watch soccer, but probably a bunch.
You know what I mean? Same with Brady. Every year we see that. Michael Phelps doesn't lose.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like I trained for 4 years for this. This is everyone trained for 4 years for this. Everyone has put in all of their time to be good at this 30 seconds that we're about to go. That's peak pressure. That's like everything all on the table, and time again, this nigga won, and a lot of the times by a lot.
This is true. But I think also where a little bit of my frustration comes in is I do think that swimming is far easier than soccer, basketball, and football.
Basketball is the easiest sport in the world. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. As someone who like played like a lot of basketball, I think like you could roll the ball. I think you could get to the NBA by just being an athlete.
That's
like
so not true.
With very minimal, and then you have to be. When I say that, you have to be otherworldly athletic to be on that tip. You know what I mean? Like really, really like NBA just off athleticism. But like you could go to fucking college and not be that great.
But do you realize there are no variables in swimming?
What you mean?
No matter who you're competing against, where you're competing, it's like shooting a free throw. It's the same lane and the same movements. So if you just practice that, you're good. You get better. You get better. With these other sports, every instance is different than the last. You have to train to be able to perform against any kind of defender.
Yeah.
In any kind of environment. You know, well,
you don't have to. And you don't have to. You know what I mean?
No, but you have to be able to. You have to be able to read. No defensive set is exactly like the last. There's slight variation in every single one. And you have to read that defense and then exude an equal amount of athleticism. You could be
trash at things, though.
Beat that defense.
But you could be trash.
But they're not trash. I'm talking about Messi versus Michael Phelps.
Shaq.
Shaq was not on the list. We're not talking about Shaq.
Shaq was on the list.
I'm not in the top 10. We're talking about the top 10. Messi, bro. Messi, I'm sorry, but like, he is equally as athletic as Michael Phelps because he is running. He is running for an hour and a half straight.
Fam, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
He's also a striker, so he's not playing defense. There's parts of the game that Messi is just not involved in. And he's not running the full length of the field up and down. He doesn't have to get back on defense. That's not part of his position.
Okay.
You have to do everything in swimming. Because if Michael Phelps was
what is everything? You don't have to do everything. You
multiple
have to swim to one side of the pool and swim back.
Multiple different strokes. If Michael Phelps was just a freestyle guy, he's not number one.
Yeah.
But he did multiple different strokes and was number one at all of them. That's tough.
How are we defining an athlete? I don't know the answer to y'all's question about who is more athletic, quote unquote.
I think
I do feel like soccer takes way more skill than swimming. I do feel like basketball also takes more skill than swimming. I feel like to be a good swimmer, like you need to be strong, you need to have great breath control, and you need to practice over and over again. But there's no variables in swimming. You're only competing against yourself. I don't really understand the
technique required to be a great swimmer is very, very precise.
And it can be taught.
And the physical toll it takes to do what Michael Phelps does is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic is not in great shape.
Fair.
And is able to be debatably the best basketball player in the NBA.
Okay.
You have to be in peak performance shape to do what Michael Phelps does.
But we're not talking about Luka Doncic. If you want to use a basketball example, you use the only other one on the list, and that is LeBron James.
I'm talking about the sport.
Okay, so compare LeBron to Michael Phelps, not Luka Doncic.
Okay.
Because he's not top 10.
What LeBron is doing is debatably, LeBron could be number one, and I wouldn't be mad at it. But I'm also not going to be mad at Michael Phelps being number one, is what I'm saying. LeBron James is a physical specimen. I think the sport of swimming is just harder. The same way I think Tom Brady has more of a claim to be number one than LeBron. Because I think the sport of football is just harder than basketball.
The sport of football it takes more toll on your body than basketball.
And not the sport of football, actually. I think that the position quarterback is more difficult. Because like if it would have been like the best D end, I don't think like the best D end is better than LeBron at football. You know what I mean? No matter how Aaron Donald, you know what I mean? He doesn't get that. I think playing the quarterback position just requires so much nuance and understanding multiple different positions, leadership, like the brains it takes to be a quarterback. Yeah, I'm not mad if Brady's number one. He's probably him. It goes Brady, Serena, and Phelps would probably be like my three, where it's like interchangeably. I'm not mad if you put LeBron, but I just, from my perspective, I think basketball is just easier than those other sports.
You're literally just good at basketball, so it's easier to you. I don't think you're being objective.
I don't think I think that you could put most people on a basketball court and like they could figure it out quicker than putting them out on a football field or putting them on a tennis court.
I bet more people could get thrown into a pool and swim than could jump on a basketball court.
I really don't think so. Swim competitively. Swim in the pool, yes. Swim competitively, no. I think children would beat most grown adults if they just tried to hop in and swim.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna agree on this. I don't think Michael can be number one. He's
I just don't
definitely
think-
top 10.
I also just don't think.
What?
Yeah, you got to compete. Have you competed like swimming? Like competitive swimming is crazy, bro.
It's really hard.
It's insanely hard. It's way harder than any basketball I've ever played at any level in my life.
It's harder for you.
I was bad. I'm not. I don't think I'm. And I'm also. I don't think I'm naturally talented at basketball.
Okay.
I think that took effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And watching a lot of basketball and playing an obscene amount of basketball to get to the point I am now. And I don't even think I'm that good now at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I know what it took to do swimming, and I was way worse. That shit is, bro. That's the hardest thing I've ever done. Legitimately. Like, that shit is, yeah, but hey, no respect. Fuck them.
It just sounds like you were bad.
Fuck swimmers, bro. Let me see you. Since we're just saying things, I guess we could shout out some other people who just say things. Another list that dropped is Complex's top 25 media personalities, hip hop
Yeah.
media personalities.
That was another one that fucked up.
Why did they specify hip hop?
Because
Why couldn't it just be media personalities?
they cover hip hop and everyone on the list was hip hop.
But I'm saying, what made them do like a hip hop specific list? Not mad at it. I'm just asking.
I think it's because Complex is a hip hop publication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they just hip hop? I didn't know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they say they're like culture. I
Right?
think their thing is like black culture
Okay.
because they do like, complex fashion, complex sports. I think that's kind of their MO.
I guess they could get it off. But I was happy with it. It was cool to see Gabe P on there. Arshawn, shout out.
Yeah,
young
let's go.
Niggas.
Let's go through and talk about some of these people.
Adam 22 at number 22. That's funny how they did that.
Can you walk us in from the top and we can just talk about everyone a little bit?
Okay, so like number 25 type.
Yeah.
Number 25 was. Am I reading the whole 25?
Do you guys think we should? I think we can talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so at number 25 we have Gabe P of On the Radar.
He could have been higher
I agree. I don't know if I like that ranking
for what he's done this year.
I think it was a good starting spot
And I guess his voice isn't as active in the space as much as just his platform.
because the interviews don't do as well as the freestyles and stuff like that. But
Right.
just building the platform, and I think how well curated it is, and just how it really is driven towards giving up and coming artists a chance from all over. He did On the Radar, Detroit, On the Radar. I want to say he went to like Nashville or something, but like they were doing some country sessions. So I like seeing Gabe getting acknowledged on this.
Yeah, he's on his way up too. Every year I feel like that's gonna jump.
At 24, we got Arshawn Jawad, however you say it, of Kids Takeover. They said this nigga is refreshingly unproblematic content about rappers.
That was cool, really cool to see him acknowledged by Complex, because I think that's someone that we've all followed since kind of the start of his career, and I do think his page is one of my favorite pages in the space. So it was really cool to see him acknowledged.
Yeah, I definitely think that he has like one of the best like aesthetic pages when it comes to like these media journalism like type pages, and it you can tell he puts a lot of care into like everything he does. How did they phrase that? Could you just say that again?
Refreshingly unproblematic content about rappers.
Okay.
I feel like that's true. It is kind of like wholesome music first content. He doesn't really get caught up in the drama.
Oh no, okay, I see what you mean. I was confused with what they meant by like unproblematic, but yeah, he doesn't really focus on the drama, and I feel like his page doesn't cover like gossip necessarily.
True.
So
Adam 22 is number 22.
We need to get him off the list at this point.
Yeah, I think he's on the way
he
down.
Why is he there?
I mean, I think people still go to No Jumper. No Jumper is still a platform
For hip hop though,
that was built up. I mean, there's a legitimate amount of people going there still. They get interviews regularly.
like Woo's Killer.
He's like Vlad. He's approaching Vlad territory.
He's far worse than Vlad. He's far worse than Vlad.
He is worse than Vlad, because I feel like Vlad, even though he exploits the culture, like, oh, that's a crazy sentence, but he definitely exploits the culture. But I feel like at the end of the day, he's really just asking questions. I feel like Adam 22 like goes above and beyond to get people tripped up.
For sure.
And number 21, Van Lathan. I like Van Lathan. I think he's interesting. I don't know. He like came up off TMZ, so like I feel like he's part of that like old head era a little bit. But whenever I hear him talk about stuff, he always has an interesting take. Number 20, Trapalore Ross is hilarious to me. Have you guys seen?
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, is that the dude that does like
all the Chicago violence?
Yes.
like documentaries,
The
and
white
stuff
dude?
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen him.
You know, I think he's cut from that Adam 22, Vlad cloth.
He did the video that was like King Von, a look at hip hop's first serial killer, right?
Yeah,
fuck that guy.
Number 19 is Nadeska. I really, really like Nadeska. I think that she's one of those like very, very like, it says textbook interviewing skills and the ability to provide fair, nuanced commentary about trending topics. Great at being just an unbiased interviewer.
Definitely.
Like really, really good interview questions. Always very prepped. Always knows how to kind of navigate things without ever like, she doesn't feed into the drama and things like that. She's there to talk about, get questions through, you know what I mean? I mean,
she had to fucking mediate Ack and Joe for all those years. She had to be able to navigate some dicey territory. Is she full time with Apple now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Number 18 is Sway.
Legend.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We know that. Angela Yee.
Legend.
I think same thing, but I really like the lip service pod.
Yeah, she out of all the Breakfast Club people, I feel like I was the most impressed with this year, just in her own like solo venture. Like it's really cool to see her grow.
And it's dope to see how she supports women and how women support her.
True.
Like I think that that's definitely going to be like the lane that continues to just feed into her success. Number 16 is Big Boy.
Legend.
Super bald. But shout out him.
The baldest. The baldest.
Angie Martinez. I'm honestly more of an Angela Yee person than Angie Martinez. Bootleg Kev, number 14. I love Bootleg Kev.
I do too.
I'm a fan of
cool.
his for sure. He gets a little weird in his interviews when he gets the right space. I think that if you get him with the right interviewee, he does great. We've obviously saw last year when it's the wrong interviewee, ESTG, it doesn't go great.
Bootleg Kev, you said like Angel Reese is your like player comp.
Yeah.
Bootleg Kev is probably mine.
Your pod comp?
Don't you think?
Yes.
I feel like that's pretty accurate.
I do think that is yours.
I like to think my ceiling's a little higher, but
He's bodying shit because it's just him dolo too.
I know, but I'm thinking like I'm trying to be number 1, not number 14, you know?
Number 13, Rory and Maul.
They're weird.
Ugh.
They're weird.
Based off what?
They're just like weird, like people. You don't get that vibe?
No.
I think they're a little weird.
Have you watched their shit?
I have.
They seem mad normal.
No. Maul is not a normal guy.
Why?
Because Maul, when the Drake thing was going on, was going crazy for Drake.
Because he knew.
Man,
He's going crazy
think
for
that
Drake.
if you-
In a way that like it's like, bro, like it's not that deep.
I think that if you know them and their content, like it makes more sense. Because I agree. Like from the outside perspective, yes, it was like doing a lot, but like they were playing into it. That got more clicks than ever.
I don't know if they were playing in anything. I think he was just like sucking Drake, bro.
I don't think Maul cares about Drake, really. I think
Seemed
that
like he
Maul,
cared a
He
lot.
seemed like he cared.
I
a
know
lot.
I know that was what was generating clicks for them and getting them more attention than ever, especially since they left. I think that they have no problem leaning into that role at all and will say whatever. You know what I mean? Because if you watch like 30 minutes into the episode, like after the take, it's like, we know when to tee up and get loud for the clip. You know what I mean? We know what's going to be that moment on Instagram. So I don't know. I like them. I like when they don't talk about like hot button music topics. I like when they're kind of on their regular person shit and just talk about more deep cuts. I love how they just brought in live performances and things like that. Like they have a very active community. They do the little skits and stuff like that. I think they're getting creative with podcasting, and I think that they're taking over the live space in podcasting. They've went on tours like 3 times over the last 2 years and like are selling out like legitimate shows. You know what I mean?
That's
like
cool.
people are going to the live events, which I think is dope.
I need to really watch that whole pod because I do like them and I really liked them when they were with Joe.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know. I give Rory vibes sometimes.
You give Rory vibes?
Yeah.
I can see it.
Number 12 is Yachty and Mitch.
Shout out.
Shout out.
It's crazy that they got ranked above Roy and Maul.
I feel like that's a little bit of disrespect.
They're so new to the space too.
So new to the space, and it's
As somebody that loves a safe place, it seemed a little high.
It's a little high, but they came out the gate hot, and I think that as long as they can stay consistent, they'll make this a worthwhile placement. You know what I mean?
And I mean, like, I'm thinking about the most memorable interviews of the last year. They got a couple of them.
They have big moments.
You know, like the J. Cole interview was huge. I feel like that's the only sit down that he's done.
Yeah. No,
that's a huge interview.
And they've pulled some crazy guests. I like the Sexy Red one was definitely a moment.
Huge.
Not all of it for the best reasons, but great dynamic. I love them.
Mm-hmm. I think they could like just work. I mean, and I was gonna say they're young, but Yachty's literally my age, and then Mitch is older than me. I do really feel like in order for that to be a more well-rounded podcast, eventually they have to like develop their emotional intelligence a little bit more. Because like the Sexy Red episode, they really could have dove into it a little bit more and really could have broke down what she was talking about in a way that would have honestly opened their audience up a lot more. But instead, they just chose to be weird and dodge the question and dodge what she said.
You are 100% right. They need a third person.
No.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Because Yachty will always be the cool artist perspective, an interesting, unique look because they can relate to the guest. He makes music. Mitch is hilarious, so essential. But they do need somebody to add just a little bit of structure. I like when Kiana, the producer, be like correcting them off camera. You know what I mean? Because she's always like, "Yo, you guys are being idiots. Like it's this." You know what I mean?
But I think that's perfect.
But they should mic her up then. Because you can never hear what she says.
To an extent, yes. I do think that maybe giving her a mic so like she can, and as long as she has she keeps the same, is it still going?
Yeah.
As long as she keeps the same type of cadence, it's good. But I don't know. I just love their dynamic. I don't want to like change it. I think they need to just develop it more and get older. And like maybe face some backlash and things like that. Find the right moments to go deeper, the right moments to kind of pull back and like redirect, it's practice. Number 11's Nori. I feel like I haven't seen a Drink Champs episode in a while. I want to see more though. When Drink Champs was in its heyday, I really enjoyed it.
So good.
Nardwuar, legend. Shout out. Grew up on Nardwuar stuff. Haven't really been tapped into the new stuff. My favorite moment from Nardwuar was actually the laser dim giving him a gift.
That was awesome.
That was viral.
I mean, and I think the Tyler interview was within the last year too, which was a great interview.
Yeah, that was good. Gilly Wallow.
Shout out.
Fire platform. $1 million worth of game is one of my favorite podcasts.
I'll say that I want more from Gilly. I'll definitely say that I want more from Gilly. I think Wallow is dope and so necessary in the space, especially with who they're talking to and the type of knowledge that he could give them. And I think Gilly, when he's on, is obviously really funny. I think intros are unmatched. He brings that energy, excitement, like makes it feel like a moment. They could ask, like, he could ask better questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He could play his role a little bit better because I think you kind of know what Wallow's going to bring to the conversation. I think Gilly has that within him because he's just so entertaining as a person. And I think that he is well-spoken in how he likes to talk, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So he can know how to kind of relate to the artist and know how to bring more out of them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, great platform. 8, Anthony Fantano.
Ew.
Why you?
Ew.
Why?
He's just ew.
You gotta explain more, bro. He's very. What was the description of him? In-depth YouTube reviews and snarky but informed commentary.
Because he is so far from objective that it just hurts, bro. He goes into album reviews already knowing what he's gonna give it based off the artist and based off of the social commentary, based off the climate, based off of whatever he feels the artist deserves in that moment. It's not objective music reviews. It's not like what we do.
Do you think that?
I like watching his content. I'm a fan. I'm a consumer. I don't think I'd put him on the hip hop list because he will not ever say anything intelligent about a Gunna album or, you know what I mean, a Future album. He gives all that sub 5.
Why is it not? I think he would say.
I mean, I shouldn't say not anything intelligent, but he will never like that because it's very clear his taste. You know what I mean?
He likes some things in that lane.
What?
And I think that his reasoning is never like crazy.
I mean, he posted. You saw the Gunner, the Gunner review.
Yeah.
Just no words, just asleep.
Yeah.
Kind of funny, but like I don't know. He is just such a artsy, niche indie guy. You know what I mean? Like I guess because we have the JPEG Mafias of the world, we have the Bryce and I forget the duo's name. It's like a Beastie Boys rerun this year. That I guess he's still relevant in hip hop, but like I don't know.
There's always been a weird association with Fantano and hip hop, which I've never understood because he so openly reviews literally everything. I think that just the hip hop community is what's always searching for reviews, reactions. That's just something that always kind of goes hand in hand. And because he he posts stuff about everything hip hop, gets associated with it. I don't mind Fantano because at least I know you probably listened to the album more than once, I would hope. And like if he doesn't like something, unless it's the Gunna shit, be funny, like he'll be trying to make a joke, but he's given Gunna reviews in the past. You know what I mean? So like he'll go in depth and give reasons why he doesn't like something, and oftentimes it's not inaccurate. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like it's crazy because there'll be albums that I like 3 or 4 songs out of 18. Even 5 songs, you know what I mean? And
I don't know. An Anthony Fantano review is like a Pitchfork review. It's like it'll be funny, but it's not really necessarily accurate, and it's a snap judgment.
Number 7 is Ebro.
Yep, sure. I actually, ever since he picked Good Kid over to Pimp a Butterfly, it's fuck Ebro.
Yeah, I don't really. That's not really my bag. I don't really know anything about that. Number 6 is Vlad.
Like what?
Yeah, this list is cooked, bro.
Yeah,
It's cooked. There's been a couple bad takes, but that was the worst one.
I think Vlad is too high. I got to see the reasoning for Vlad. They said controversial guests and outlandish sound bites.
I think the one thing you could say about Vlad that he is good at is just getting guests. Like I do think he's interviewed a lot of people super early, and he does have his finger on the pulse. That being said, I hate the style of his interview. I hate just seeing the artist on camera and not seeing him, and then I hate his questions too.
Yeah, I'm not big on Vlad. I think he probably has a place on the list, to be honest, but I just wouldn't put him there. 5, Elliott Wilson. I know he's happy about this. And I'm happy about it too. I think Elliott is a staple in hip hop. I think Elliott is one of the people that really gives a fuck. Like, I think, you know how we give a fuck and like really, really care and really like want to like be like, yes, I have an opinion that I've really thought about this project, about hip hop, about everything in it. Mm-hmm. Elliott's cut from that cloth. Yeah. And I can definitely appreciate that. And I think that it was really hard for him to have to adjust from non-traditional journalism, especially as an older guy, and I think he's done a really, really good job, especially recently.
I think his Instagram is really cool. I think his Twitter is corny, and I think he's old.
But for how old he is, you know what I mean? I think I appreciate what he's doing. Shout out to him.
Yeah, no, the Drake Rap Radar interview is one of my favorite interviews of all time.
Iconic.
So
I really like Elliott.
Yeah. Charlamagne the God at number 4.
Terrible.
Bad choice. I'm not really looking to Charlamagne for any hip hop commentary.
Doesn't he have a podcast with Andrew Schultz now?
Yeah.
He's been had that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I
just don't see how that could be good.
In its prime.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
What do they talk about?
Everything. And it's like funny. It
it
really is. And like Charlamagne, you know what I mean, will check Schultz.
Yeah.
And like Andrew Schultz has a respect for him. But yeah, that's more just media in general. Number 3, Kai Cenat. I'm interested to see you guys' take on this.
What is this list again? I'm
hip hop media personalities.
So this is my thing. Not that Kai doesn't deserve to be on like a media journalism list, but I think the one thing I'm confused about is like, okay, actually, yes, I'm confused about that. I don't think Kai has ever classified himself as a media journalist, and I think that he's the most popular Twitch streamer, right? And so,
well, it's not a journalist; it's just media personality.
Okay, got you. I just get confused. I think people try and make Kai's content deeper than it is.
I agree.
In all facets, whether it comes to the artists that come on his channel or the celebrities or like the skits that he does or like the themes that he puts on, like I think this is all just blanket entertainment, and I don't think it is necessarily like journalism. And I feel like putting him on this list like further takes out of context what he's really doing, which is entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not really like I don't think he should be on this list.
If he wants to branch out into that, that's fine. But what he does right now, and I think he would agree, isn't journalism.
I think it's not, but that's not what this is asking of it. Like the list isn't about journalism. It's just personality. So I think the angle, if you want to like go in Kai's favor, is he's giving these hip hop artists a platform to showcase more of their personality in a way that a more traditional interview doesn't. I don't think that that's been the outcome of the streams, but I could see how if you were like, oh, we have to give Kai Cenat a nod, that's how you would do it.
I mean, I think he's placed perfectly. I think he belongs on this list, and I think 3 is the perfect spot for him.
3 though?
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at the moments that he's had, the people that he's had on stream, and I don't see how it's different than what a lot of these people are doing. The older people, of course, they're cut from that more journalism cloth, but like other people are also entertaining. Whether it's their content might be a show on YouTube or Elliot. What does Elliot do that, you know? Elliot posts on Instagram all day. Yes, he has his podcast as well where he gets on a camera and he talks into a mic and it gets clipped up.
And it goes more in depth about things. Like I think that like the big takeaway from like a Kai 21 Savage stream was like 21 tried to cheat Kai out of some money. Like it wasn't like really like there was nothing more I was uncovering about 21 Savage from that. Whereas if 21 goes on any of these other platforms, we have more of a chance, it seems like, to learn more about the artist.
I guess that's true. I think you do learn a different thing. I think you might learn a little bit more about what they're actually like.
Yes.
You might know less about them, but you might feel like you know them more after watching them on a Kai stream. I don't know. I think I feel what you guys are saying. It's not journalism, but also I think we talked about this recently, and I think journalism is dying, if not dead, you know?
Yeah, shout out Kai. Number 2, Joe Budden.
Should be 1.
I put him as number 1.
That's number 1. That's big dog.
Personally. I mean, if we're talking about... It's very similar to like what's happening in sports media. You know, you like when players talk about the game.
Yep.
He was in it. And I think that Joe constantly, a little bit less now that he's getting money and trying to put things in position for himself, but he would really try to peel back the curtain for fans and show them not only what's going on in the industry and give his opinion on it from an insider perspective, but talk about the powers that be within the industry and how he's interacted and seen them grow throughout his journey, which is really, really dope. And I think that Joe is really smart. Like he doesn't just come at anything half-assed. He knows when it's a big topic of conversation and treats it as such. So he's going to give you the full breakdown of the Not Like Us video and make sure everybody comes in prepared to really talk about every layer of this. He was documenting the beef amazing. The way that he goes back and forth with Cardi and is talking about that situation. Like there's so many moments that Joe has really like paid the attention that I've wanted someone to. You know what I mean? I never walk away from Joe Budden talking about a subject and I'm like, damn, you could have went a little more in depth there. That's why I fuck with Joe. I'm like, going to all content.
And they tee up, that whole team. He's built such a great crew around him. And the way that they interact, I've never felt so attached to a supporting cast either. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm starting to understand their overall group dynamic, which is really cool. You know what I mean? And they really don't just glaze over the bullshit. You know what I mean? They go into full rants about life shit, which I think is so entertaining. And they can just talk and talk and talk. And as somebody that's doing it, you really have to respect it when you sit down and watch the full episode and see. I understand why you do the Patreon, why you're on Patreon. It's because like now that I'm actually consistently listening to the episodes, I want to join their Patreon. You know what I mean? And he talks about podcasting too, which I think is cool. You know what I mean? And like just it's inspirational as men on mics. You know
Literally,
what I mean? What he was able to build, it's crazy.
The rant that he went on today on the most recent episode was fire because he's like, I've spent the last like 10, 15 years cutting out all the middlemen.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to talk to me, if you want to get my opinion on anything or see what I have to think about anything, there's no business like manager, there's no label, there's no entity that you could speak to besides my DMs.
Yeah.
Talk to me directly. You know what I mean? If you want to know what I think about something, watch the podcast. It'll come directly from my mouth. But there's no one who's going to release statements for me. There's no one controlling this. This is all me.
Man, he was so fired up for that little 40-minute rant about, yeah, I'm Joe Budden, in case you forgot. I rap better than 97% of y'all. He really, I make $1 million every time Drake drops a diss.
Talk your shit, Joe. Talk your shit, Joe, because you know that when we get there, I'm going to have my sunglasses on and probably say some crazier shit on God, bro. If we because when you get to that point, you could really pop your shit. Or, like the number one person, DJ Academics, you get drunk off some Hennessy and fall asleep on stream.
It's like, come on. It's just, it's night and day. I don't know. For me. I've never been an Ack fan, though, so maybe I'm biased. But
when Ack gets in his bag, when Ack wants to be really good, he's really good. When he chooses to be. Because he knows how to speak our language while being able to peel the curtain back. And it's like, oh, you did work at Complex. You are a student of the game. You do come from where we come from. You do live on social media. Like, you know what you're talking about. He also knows how to clickbait and clip farm and do all the bullshit. He knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And I think that why I'm more of an advocate for someone like Joe over the Acts, the Kais, is I think he treats his platform with care. Whereas I feel like Ack will kind of pimp his shit out for a short-term moment. Mm-hmm. For short-term clicks. And it works. And you know what I mean? I think he definitely has a place very, very high on this. But yeah, I don't think he should be number one.
Yeah, I think the only thing was just like, what didn't he premiere one of the disses in the beef? Didn't Drake send him the diss?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you can't ignore that. That's huge.
But it's just the him and Drake thing is so.
Yeah, but it kind of opened my eyes. I was like, wow, is stream radio? Like, are we gonna move to a place where rappers want to premiere music on live streams that already have this big following? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that kind of, I think he is actually the reason Kai's on the list. Because I think he, more than anything, blended what media is and what it means to be a media personality in the space. Because at this point, he's really more of a streamer and a social media journalist, right? Like, does he do any does he have, I guess he has his podcast, but it's just him, right?
Yeah. I think if we want to get into like the stream conversation, I just think that there's other up and coming streamers other than Kai who like converse and talk about hip hop and music and like are like listening to albums and giving like in-depth thoughts. Like, bro, I love that Black Boy Max kid. I want to give a shout out to him because you know like the Laced Max freestyle, but like Laser Dim. Like he had Molly Santana on the Save AJ like 16-minute freestyle where people are like, oh my God, this kid is like Juice WRLD. Like this dude is bringing in artists all the time. Bruce Drop Him Off is starting a record label right now with that kid. Have you heard about the kid Protect?
No.
That he's launching right now. He's this thing called Ball Hog, bro. Like Osama's son is fucking with him. He's blowing up an artist currently that's like talking to major labels. Like I think there's just other streamers in the space that are around the same level as Kai or approaching that. Obviously they're not Kai level, but they're more integrated in the music scene and kids know about them and they do numbers on stream. Like they're probably pulling more fans on a day-to-day basis than damn near this entire list besides Kai.
Damn, yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's a good.
So I feel you. You're saying when you open that door, there's other names to include.
Yeah. Like Kai doesn't really like. Kai's a media personality, but I don't think he'd take any slight to not being mentioned in hip hop. And if you want to get more eyes, more younger eyes on the Complex list, you could have shouted them out. But Complex. There were some good picks. There were some bad picks. The reasoning was the reasoning. Is there anything else that we missed? Any big topics?
I think that was pretty much everything that was on my list. I'll say, what do you want to talk about, bro?
I don't know. What do I want to talk about today? Miles, can I talk today or no? Am I allowed to say? Am I allowed to say what's on my mind?
Yeah, I just might not agree with it. I don't think I'm gonna agree with it.
Speak freely, brother.
I hope I do though. I'm gonna try and agree with you.
Can I actually ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you have something queued up?
No. Go ahead.
I want to know what it's like living together now.
Oh, it's fun.
Like what? Like how is the dynamic changed? What's like a normal interaction in the house look like between y'all? Like I don't know.
It's fun because it's just this.
Yeah.
It's just me just saying things and Miles either laughing or getting slightly annoyed. And then when he gets annoyed, I just egg on more.
I'd give Osei damn near 10 out of 10 as a roommate so far.
Wow.
Let's go.
What did I earn?
I think you were 10 out of 10. I like to, I don't.
So you're just easy.
I don't think I'm very hard to.
This
please.
guy's just easy.
You know what I mean?
Easy to please.
Easy to.
I think I'm a pretty,
Worst things to be.
I think I'm a pretty simple guy. Just we have our little conversations now and again. Get a little chuckle. The full house is now back together.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
I
fun.
don't know. I don't like that Osei gets to see the real me. Like I think you've seen me for a while, so you know how I live. So I'm like, okay, like whatever. But like having to like now Osei can judge the manner in which I live. I'm a little bit insecure because I know it's ugly.
Don't do that.
It is.
It's bad. What I do,
He could improve.
What I do is not. I wouldn't stand on and say I got anything figured out. I'm just trying to make it, man. And that's what now you can see it though. When you see me at like 28 and I have it together a little bit more, you're gonna be like, wow, I saw where he came from.
I saw this kid grow up.
That's a long way. You know what I mean?
You're on the way there, bro. I think so. I truly believe.
Me too, bro.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
Living with him.
You like it?
I don't like.
You don't like it?
He does like to smoke though.
I don't like living with
Smoky,
him.
smoky.
He's a smoky. Smoky, make my lungs feel good.
I don't bother nobody.
You guys drink a lot of Modelo's over there or what?
That's
not-
Osei's thing.
not
Osei's like
yet.
beer. Osei's like drinking beer.
Not yet, bro. I need to go buy some more Modelo's. I went to Trader Joe's today. They didn't have any, so I don't think I should go to Trader Joe's. They have all this off-brand stuff.
I mean, it's just Trader Joe's brand stuff. You know what I learned about Trader Joe's though?
Mm-hmm.
It's not really their brand. Y'all know this?
I didn't know that.
They source things from all around the world and just basically make it Trader Joe's brand. And they still, give the company it's from a lot of a lot of money. But they kind of do just jack all this shit,
Gentrification.
It's literally like gentrification that we're just like okay with.
I'll do it. Hot takes.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I think that Igor is a top 5 rap album of the 2000s.
Top 5 rap album?
Or top 5 album overall. My bad.
Oh, I was gonna say you're being the Grammys.
It's whatever. Whatever.
A top 5 album of the 2000s.
Yeah.
So, but
again,
so
all genres across all genres.
But 2000s means you're talking about the whole century from 2000 on.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a heavy claim. I'm not mad because I love Igor. I don't know if I could name 5 better.
I don't know.
It's one of my favorite albums of all time. I'm kind of rocking with that take.
One of the most creative albums ever. Can't really be bound by genre.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite thing about it?
My favorite thing is a cop out to say the subtle voices across the album. Kanye on Puppet, Uzi on Igor's theme, Cardi on Earthquake. How he took people and really, really made them sound perfect in limited opportunities without needing them to carry a track. Because it really is an album that's carried by Tyler and his voice and his production. But he brought in the right person at the right time throughout the entire project. Pharrell on fucking Are We Still Friends? Doing the backgrounds. Amazing.
That's an instant classic. And you pair it with the live show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to actually piggyback on your hot take. But before we do that, what's your favorite song on Igor?
I used to say, Are We Still Friends? Like, just what I'm playing the most right now is Running Out of Time.
Yeah.
I'll say the best song on Igor. I don't know.
It's Are We Still Friends? You were right off rip. But I feel you. The whole thing is great.
Because I don't know because that's like I think that's an interpolation.
Oh really?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's an interpolation. I'm gonna go with Running Out of Time. Is my favorite right now. I'll say that.
You like Igor over there?
It's a good project.
Just good.
fine project.
It's a good project.
I'll say enjoyed it. Right.
I did.
Was it is my claim crazy?
I think you're doing things for what you think is gonna get clickbait, but I don't think you really believe it.
Why?
I don't know, bro. Is that really like that crazy of a project?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're agreeing.
I think I agree with the take.
You're agreeing with the take. I feel like it was super experimental for his lane and for what he does, but like, I don't know if it was like the craziest thing ever.
It's pretty good though.
Is Running Out of Time on that? We just
Yeah.
talked about that. Running Out of Time, and then what else?
Earthquake. A Boy is a Gun.
Earthquake is cool.
I think
a boy is a gun is annoying.
A Boy Is a
Why?
Gun is
What's
phenomenal.
annoying about it?
A Boy Is a Gun is
I
phenomenal.
don't like the way it sounds.
All right, hater. Puppet. Are we still friends?
So that's my thing, bro. How am I a hater if I'm just expressing what I feel?
Because I think you're just like disagreeing.
Nah, I just don't love it like y'all do. And
Let
I think
me
that's okay.
let me say, Igor is not a top 5 album of the 2000s. Igor is one of my 5 favorite albums of the 2000s. I'll say that.
Hater.
All right, should I just? I'm gonna piggyback off yours, Miles.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Tyler the Creator is the best hip hop performer of all time.
I agree.
I don't think there's ever been a rap artist that
I just don't think there's any competition. Like,
Really?
who's even close?
I mean, like, he kind of is the one.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, there are definitely iconic rap performers, right? I mean, Kanye is kind of iconic. His tours was crazy.
I think Kanye is the only one that you can even mention in the same breath as Tyler.
But I mean, what about like the 90s? Like, did anyone have
The
it
hip,
cracking up?
the hop,
That's not even the 90s, bro. You're hating. I mean, like,
What is Nas doing on stage in the triple XL fucking jeans, bro? Like, I don't.
I
Them niggas
guess you're right. I guess it is kind of one of the hip hop wasn't necessarily made for a live concert, maybe. You know?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone at all. I just tried to. I'm like, there's literally no like legendary hip hop performers to me at all.
You got anyone over there?
No, I don't have anyone.
I mean, right now you can put like Travis Scott in the mix.
Kendrick, Kanye, Travis are great performers, but I don't think any of them could incorporate dancing, crowd control, and like visuals like Tyler.
Yeah.
You know, as well as like Tyler has like the hypeness of a Travis, you know. He doesn't do the backing track when you talk about the people like Freddie and like all of them, even like you want to go like Jadakiss, you know, like yeah, he's the best.
Yeah. Big Tyler fans over here.
Big Tyler fans. This may come off as a little crazy, but I really feel this way right now. We just don't talk about Rod Wave enough as a top 10 hip hop artist, bro. We really don't.
Let's wrap this up.
We don't talk about him as a top 10 hip hop
We'll
artist.
wrap this one up.
Thanks, guys.
There's a
Appreciate
lot
you for
of
watching.
one thing about him, right, is the way that he's blending rapping, singing, and gospel music is really just not talked about enough and not appreciated enough. All his concerts are like going to church, bro. It's like one big cathedral where everybody's singing every word. And Miles, you seem frustrated, but maybe you should listen to some Rod Wave, bro. You might need some in your life. You need some gospel in your life, for real.
This man needs God.
So like what top 10 what?
Hip hop artists.
Currently, all time,
Currently.
top 10. That's not a crazy statement.
It's not a crazy statement.
It's a crazy statement.
No, it's
not.
not. Top
Yes,
10
it is.
right now?
Yes, it is.
Top 10 right now. It's not crazy.
That's crazy.
It's not crazy.
When did he drop?
He does undeniable numbers.
What was the last time he dropped?
Last year, right? Or the year
Yeah,
before
last
that?
year. Nostalgia.
Yeah.
I mean,
Girls.
I mean, he's Raps Adele, bro.
bro, he has 6 million monthly listeners.
Okay.
That's not insane numbers.
Okay.
Those aren't stupid numbers.
Look at the streams.
All I'm saying is people aren't riding with him this month, which I don't think makes him a top 10 artist in the game right now.
I mean, he sells out arenas, bro.
Not
I
many
know
people.
what-
Like he's one of like 5. that's doing arenas.
Okay, but I mean that's just one aspect. We just talked about.
But
how,
those are like
the live
but that's
aspect wasn't the most important thing in hip hop.
When did we say that? I think that's the most. I think that's the best metric of real fans.
Really?
Live,
oh, okay, like selling.
Yeah, selling hard tickets.
Well, it's also because he's a singer.
Whoa. So
He's
now
a
we're
hip-hop.
now we're moving the goalposts.
He's a hip-hop artist.
Because I said hip hop.
I
didn't say rap.
I'm more frustrated just about Osei's take. In that, like, Osei has like 3 things he likes to do hot takes about. That more so frustrated me. But I don't think that the take itself is crazy.
No, the take is crazy. He's not top 10 in the game right now.
He is.
No, he's not.
Name your top 10.
You have to if you're gonna say that.
Kendrick.
Okay.
Drake.
Okay.
Doja Cat.
Okay.
No. She's pop.
No, she's not. You did not listen to Scarlet. That's not a pop album. That's rap. She's 100% there.
I kind of agree with Miles, but
how is she pop? She's a rapper. Did y'all listen to the album?
I get that she's a rapper, but she is a pop artist. I don't think.
Then Rod Wave is an R&B artist. If we're doing that, if Doja Cat can't be rap,
you got it. You got it. Continue. That's 3.
help me out. I know we can build this list.
It's hard, right? It's hard. When
Future
Tyler.
Okay.
Tyler, I guess he's not super active, but it's always hard to say who's active and who's not. Playboy Cardi.
It's difficult.
I know, and let me get my phone out. Let me scroll. Don Toliver. Yes.
That's up to opinion. Though. That's up to opinion.
We will see how this Don Toliver tour does, and then maybe I'll give it to him.
Rod Wave, 6 million monthly listeners. Don Toliver, 30 million monthly listeners. Don Toliver is far hotter.
He has a song right now, though.
Okay.
No Idea is a much bigger song than any Rod Wave song that he has, but No Idea is also a TikTok hit.
Gunna.
Hit.
I'm
surprised you said that.
I can literally just open my phone. Gunna, Lil Yachty.
No. Oh my God, bro.
Lil Yachty is definitely higher now in the game.
Get Lil Yachty out of here, bro.
Miles, am I tripping?
Over Rod Wave, bro, that is crazy.
Yachty's definitely over Rod Wave.
Rod Wave is doing way more numbers ticket sales wise.
That's the only thing you have is ticket sales.
Yachty's over.
He's got way more. But I would say Rod Wave has way bigger cult fans, bro.
You got to take personal bias out of it, though. Mm-hmm. Yachty, you can't argue.
Is a bigger artist
right now. Yachty's at like the peak of his power.
What would you say his biggest song is?
It's not even about that right now. Just a star in hip hop causes more commotion in hip hop. Is more of a conversation around hip hop. Yachty's kind of it right now.
People care way more.
I don't think people care as much as you guys think about Yachty.
But I mean, people listen to, like, if Rod Wave were to drop an album tomorrow, it'd go crazy.
Yeah, what is the Yachty?
With Yachty's?
What, no, bro. What is bro? We literally have an example. What is the Yachty James Blake album doing right now?
Well, I mean, that's
nothing.
A collab album. That's
no,
a collab album.
No, it's doing nothing.
It's not a Yachty.
It's doing nothing, and James Blake is a bigger artist than Yachty. So what are we really talking about?
James Blake is not a bigger artist than Yachty.
He is.
James Blake is a better artist than Yachty. James Blake is not a big. Why are you downplaying Boat?
Because James Blake has songs with Travis Scott and shit.
And Yachty doesn't?
No. When is the last when did
Yachty has features of the Travis Scott level?
Yeah.
But Yachty doesn't have a song with Travis Scott.
Does that make you a bigger artist?
No, but that's what he said, and you're wrong.
You're right.
Okay, cool.
You got that one. James Blake has 1/3. Actually, let me see how many monthlies Yachty's at.
Say like trying to be right is nasty. So I said one thing though, that one caught right.
You guys have not disproven my point. Rod Wave is bigger than Lil Yachty.
All right, bro.
If Rod Wave dropped an album tomorrow and Yachty dropped an album tomorrow, Rod Wave would not only outsell him, but he would outsell him on tour. And that means he's a bigger artist, in my opinion.
My ask next week. Mm-hmm. No Rod Wave. No DMV. What else?
Why are we restricting my hot takes?
I mean, just really those. No one from
y'all could just talk about Tyler the Creator every single day and Boldy James every single day.
How many Tyler?
And that's okay.
How many Tyler hot takes?
This feels like a dictatorship.
How many Tyler hot takes have I had?
I don't know. This is probably the third at least.
Thank y'all for watching, man. This is a good episode, guys. got a lot of chatter.
You about to fall asleep over there.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yurt.
Catch y'all next one, man. Peace.